Good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome. Thank you all for being here. If you can start to come take your seat, we're going to kick off our District 3 mandated charter meeting. Thank you all for being here. Those in the lobby and the resource area, come on in. Welcome, welcome. My name's Kayana Sessoms. I'm the District 3 manager with the Department of Neighborhoods. And we are excited to kick off our meeting this evening for you all. Thank you, thank you. It has been my honor to serve you all for the last 6 years in the capacity of your district manager, and I am so excited that we have a wonderful presentation for you all this evening that will kick off shortly, but I want to make sure you are introduced to your District 3 team as well as your MPOs, and we're going to welcome everyone into the space. So as I said, my name's Kayana Sessoms, District 3 Manager with the Department of Neighborhoods. Honored to serve you all. I have a dynamic team. I serve alongside Kenzie Current, our Deputy District Manager, and Muhit Abdul is your business liaison for District 3. We have amazing neighborhood police officers in our district. We have the 7th Precinct MPOs, our 9th Precinct MPO officers, also your 11th Precinct MPO officers, yes, and your 12th Precinct neighborhood police officers are happy to serve you in District 3. So this evening, I think that we will be using the question and answer for those of you that are joining us on Zoom. Public comment on Zoom, you can make a public comment and ask your question. You will please comment and type in your comment and question or concern in the question and answer tab located in the Zoom task bar. If you do not see the question and answer in the task bar, click on More and then click on the question and answer tab and type your question, comment, or concern in the allocated box. For Zoom participants will be unmuted to speak. All questions must be submitted via the chat feature. Solar Neighborhood in District 3, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to our Honorable Mayor, Mike Duggan.
All right. How's everybody tonight? All right, so we have a provision in the charter that every year the mayor does a citywide forum and then does one in each of the 7 council districts to make sure the issues get addressed. Tonight is my 90th charter meeting. And so if you haven't been to one of the first 89, what we'll do first is a presentation that's specific to the residents of District 3. Couple things that are going on. One is those who have lived here remember the days when the prison was operating at Ryan in Nevada in a large scale. It was largely shut down by the state of Michigan years ago. Recently has been down to 100 prisoners, which are the Detroit police prisoners who stay there for a day or two until they are arraigned. In the last 3 months, the city of Detroit took the property over from the state of Michigan. We will be running the 100-bed detention center, but we are going to be demolishing all of that unused prison space, and we are going to make it available for a manufacturing site so we can bring jobs to this neighborhood on the site of the closed prison. So I'm glad. You might have seen in Lansing they've only passed like 8 bills this year. This was one of the 8, is to turn the prison back over to the city. The other thing is we have 2 major solar fields going forward in District 3. And before I give it to Tricia Stein, I'm going to turn it over to your great council member, Scott Benson.
Okay. Hey, good evening, everybody. And number one, welcome to the 3rd District. It's an honor and a privilege to have you all here this evening to come and see the hospitality of Solomon's Temple. How about Solomon's Temple for welcoming us here today? And so since we're in a church, I'm also going to bring greetings from Plymouth United Church of Christ, where I'm a deacon, and bringing greetings from Pastor Hood and the First Lady Judge Hood as well. So thank you all for hosting us this evening. And for the 90th Mayor's Meeting, this is also a fantastic milestone since we were one of the first ones to have a charter-mandated Mayor's Meeting right here in the 3rd District. And so we've got a lot of great news of what's going on. We've got Tricia Stein coming up next, who I call the Czarina of electrification for the city of Detroit. We get to talk about how we are providing free electricity in something we don't advertise. But if you have an EV vehicle within the city of Detroit, and people may say, we don't have many of those, we have about 17% of the cars in the city of Detroit are EVs, and it's growing. And that's the future. And so what we're doing in the city of Detroit is making sure that everybody in the city, not just those in downtown and midtown, everybody in our neighborhoods has access to electrification for the future, and that's the direction we're going in. And right now, we do that for free. Now, you can say, well, they may do that for free in Ann Arbor. They don't have 40-plus electric nodes within the city of Ann Arbor that do that. They don't have those at all of your rec centers that do that, and we do it for free. So when we talk about being a resident in the city of Detroit, it has its privileges, and this is just another example of how we do that. And we're going to be doing DC fast chargers right here within our neighborhoods, and see who else is going to be doing that. And we got 2 of those right here in the 3rd District. So we're very excited about that. And I know that we have Ms. Tricia Stein is going to come up and talk more about it. We got our solar farms that we're going to talk about, and all the other great things that we're doing right here in the city of Detroit. So thank you all for coming out tonight, and thank you very much.
Thank you. I know you guys are all dying to hear about the solar update, but first, Pastor Van Adams, if you really could come up before me, I would appreciate it, since it is your house, and bring greetings, and then I'll go.
Thank you so much. Again, welcome everyone to Solomon's Temple Church, proud church here in District 3. Thank you, Mayor, for your service over these 12 years, and we hope that you'll get an opportunity to continue to serve not only the city of Detroit, but the state of Michigan. Thank you, Councilman Benson, for all of your hard work and for certainly being an advocate for the people of this district. I'd appreciate it so very much if you do me the honor of just bowing your head. There's a scripture in Psalms 82:3. It says, defend the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and the needy. Father, we thank you as we ask for your justice today. Justice that those that have been left out might receive affordable and attainable housing. Restorative justice for those that have been a part of the fabric of this city, that they might see a brighter day, that they might attain and have access to greater opportunity. We ask for justice for the little children, Father, that have been gunned down senselessly. We ask for justice for those that have not been able to attain and receive those things that they are due. We ask your blessings today upon this audience as they have come to receive service and to access the systems that we have put in place. We ask your blessings upon this city that it might increase in its jobs, that it might increase in access to opportunities. We ask your blessings, Father, because we know that it is you that can change hearts and change minds. I pray, Father, for greater civility. I pray for greater respect one for another. And I pray that as the big, beautiful bill comes online, that it is not very beautiful at all, that you would help us to educate and inform and insulate our people that are most vulnerable. And finally, we ask that as we seek peace for our great city, that we invite the Prince of Peace to sit at every table. We ask all of these blessings in Jesus' name. Let us all say amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and what a beautiful place. Thank you for having us. So as Councilmember Benson and the mayor said, there are 2 solar neighborhoods in District 3. So, woo-hoo! I love that I brought my cheering section tonight. So I wanted to come and bring you a update on where we are. There's some members from Van Dyke Lynch, and there's some members from Greenfield Park here tonight. So I want to tell you about what they've been up to. So last fall, Van Dyke Lynch started, and Greenfield Park then started in the winter. And we started meeting, and the community decided. So all the neighbors around the solar panels decided what the fence is going to look like, what the plants are going to look like around the fence and around the solar panels. So here they are, lots of meetings that were really guided by our planning department, our Department of Neighborhoods, and our sustainability office. But it was the neighbors that chose, and so let's take a look and see what they picked. So here's Van Dyke Lynch, absolutely gorgeous metal fence that'll have an inlet with a ball cap at the top and then a decorative ring as an inlet. And then around it will be flowering trees and arborvitaes that will go around the fence. And then the 42 acres, that's what the solar array will be, just over 42 with Castle and Gilbo to the east and the west, and then Lyford and Wisner to the north and the south. There will be perennial gardens throughout, those really mown at the corner so that they draw your attention and they can be visible both ways that you are passing by. And then also the neighbors of Van Dyke Lynch voted for raised vegetable gardens. So they will also be around. The community is still deciding with our sustainability director and our urban ag director exactly where they go. So those are coming soon. And then they chose for interior a meadow. So there will be 42 acres underneath and around the solar arrays. That will be a meadow and an open and green space. These 42 acres will produce just under 10 megawatts of clean, renewable energy. So I think it looks pretty gorgeous. Here's the timeline. Demolition has already happened, and now construction has just started clearing the trees. Next week, road closures that you'll hear more about in 1 minute, and the fence will be installed around the perimeter. Then the electrical distribution and the racking will start the following month in October, so that's the actual infrastructure for the panels to go on. Early next year, we will put in the overhead line installation. March will start the panels, and by next summer, everything will be done. You'll see the fence in, you'll see the plants, and you'll see fully commissioned operating solar array here in Van Dyke Lynch. Now I want to bring up Sam Krasenstein from the Department of Public Works, who will talk about the street closures that start next week.
All right, thank you, Tricia. Good evening, everyone. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the road closures and what to expect. So with the traffic circulation in the neighborhood, our goal is that during construction, we're keeping all of the traffic to what we call the major roads. So Van Dyke, French Road, and Lynch, the traffic's basically staying on the perimeter and not cutting through the neighborhood during construction. So the streets that are in yellow here, we're maintaining full access to, and the streets that are in purple on the map are the streets that are going to have limited access to preserve access to the residents that have chosen to remain in this area. Next slide. So for the maintenance of traffic plan, so once construction gets underway next week, we'll be working closely with DTE that as they're putting the fencing up, we'll be closing the roads in coordination with them. So what you should expect is that we're going to be putting up what we call type 3 barricades, basically the orange and white construction signs with road closed signs on them, all at the 13 entry points around the perimeter. Next slide. And then as part of our traffic control plan with closing some of the streets, we'll be converting the yield signs all to stop signs in order to ensure that the roads are safe throughout the neighborhood. And that's it.
Thanks, Sam. So moving on to phase 2, Greenfield Park is phase 2, so they're a few months behind, but this winter, the neighbors got together and decided what they wanted theirs to look like, which is similar. It's a decorative metal fence. There's also the ring inlet, but they chose a flat top, and then similar arborvitae and juniper, but slightly different flowering trees. And then there will be perennial gardens, again, that are around. There are 2 separate areas in the Greenfield Park that you'll see them here. It's also 42 acres. Both of them are north of McNichols. And you've got one area east of Oakland Avenue, and then one just west of Bush. So the timeline for, and then they also chose Meadow, but Clover. So it'll be a slightly different in and around the solar arrays. And then the timeline for this, again, it's a few months behind. The demolitions are happening now. Construction will begin next spring, and then fully commissioned and very similar to the steps that we talked about for Van Dyke Lynch will be done by summer 2027. So next we're going to bring up Tepfira Russian, our Sustainability Director, to talk about the energy efficiency upgrades.
Thank you. I think this is probably the most exciting part of this project for me because we get to get in homes and support homeowners with upgrades to their homes. Within these two neighborhoods, we have 107 homes that will be receiving upgrades, and as Ray Solomon said, they didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to fill out a grant. They just got the services. So where are we at in the process? We have 70 of those homes, of those 107, have already gone through the energy assessments. So we've had professionals come in their homes so they can tell where they need to seal, what would be the best upgrades, and about 37 are still pending those assessments. We have 53 scopes of work approved in these two neighborhoods, and construction is in progress for 12, and construction is completed for 19 homes. Next slide. Here's a list of the different upgrades that homeowners were eligible for. So these included windows, hot water furnaces and tanks, roof repairs, appliances that are Energy Star rated, insulation and air sealing. We had things like smart thermostats, lighting, battery backup. If folks were all the way through this process, some people will be receiving solar panels, anything from smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, which Mayor just went out, and there was an incident with a homeowner who was able to find out that they had carbon monoxide in their home. So this was a beautiful story coming out of Van Dyke Lynch. And then electrical panel upgrades. Here's just some before and after pictures. So here's a roof before, during, and after our contractors were out there. This was an attic installation that was done, and then a hot water tank replacement. And so, yeah, here's our contact information if you have any questions about this project, and I'll turn it back over to Tricia.
So just again, we wanted to give you an update since they're right here, and you're going to see some activity and hopefully see some construction soon and see some clean renewable energy in your neighborhood. And with that, I believe, Aaron's, are you taking over, Mr. Mayor? All right.
I think I'm up. All right, thank you. And so we didn't, I know a number of you are already familiar with this, but what we did was the neighbors who chose the adjoining neighborhood for their solar panels, we put in a minimum of $15,000 a house for the neighbors who stayed in energy efficiency upgrades. So the money that we're making by generating the power, we are putting into the adjoining neighbor's house to strengthen those neighborhoods. And so if you're in those zones, you know that. Okay, so if you haven't been here before, here's how we do this. If you ask your question, we've got microphones on both sides. We'll alternate sides. We'll alternate between folks who are in the church and folks who are home on Zoom. If you got a question, ask your question. We'll try to answer it as best we can. If you don't have a question, you just want to talk, there'll be a 60-second limit so we can get on to your neighbors, and we will be going until 8:30. So whoever would like to start on either side where the microphones are, start by telling me your name and what neighborhood you're from. Go ahead. Good evening.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Good.
Just one positive note. I asked for maybe a voicemail on the mayor's 224-3400. Next day, it was done. And when I had people talk about the bus service or leave a voicemail or whatever, they were able to do so. So I just want to say thank you for that. You can't disagree or agree with a person 100% of the time. That would be disingenuous. So I have the right to say good things because I know I was going to get some calls. Don't say nothing good about Duggan. Duggan has done a lot for me. So, you know, and a lot for this city. Mr. Kramer gave me like 30 minutes of his time before the meeting about a few issues. I'm a cab driver, but I give out the applications for paratransit when I see people that are in need for it. He just gave me another boatload of that. And we have some meetings and maybe a ride-along. And the ride-along with you, Mr. Mayor, you said yes last time.
Glad to do it.
And thank you for
I get to sit next to the most popular man on the DDOT buses. When you pass out those passes as they come on, everybody's glad to see you. So I'm always happy to do it. And Brother Cunningham, you'll be glad to know that, of course, we have a significant problem with buses, but just this week we got federal approval for another 4 buses, and we're continuing to push on. So it's going to be a while, but so far at least, the federal government is continuing to process our grants, continuing to process our buses, and we're going to keep going until we have a full schedule.
And if anybody needs, I'm about to roll, but if you need a bus ticket, just raise your hand. If you come up to take the bus to get here, I know it's difficult, but I got some bus tickets for you before I leave out. Thank you so much. 313-444-9114. 313-444-9114. 313-444-9114. That number was made so you can remember it, and it's my Cash App. Thank you.
Thank you for all you're doing for the community. Kim, do we have a question on the phone?
We do. Hello? Okay. From Stephen, the question is, why hasn't Detroit made any effort to invest in a basic rapid transit line? So many young people like me have moved to the cities and at least have a basic system.
Yeah. Well, we can go back 50 or 60 years on that one, but the only way to get rapid transit would be billions of dollars in federal money, and that's just not realistic. Okay, go ahead. Tell me your name, what neighborhood you're from.
Hi, my name is Juliette Pugh. I'm the vice president of the Klinger Block Club. My question is, how do I go about getting the sidewalks done? We're a block club from East Outer Drive to East 8 Mile. They came in last year and did the middle block, but they didn't finish. And I wanted to know, how do I go about in getting the block between Winchester and 8 Mile done for the sidewalks?
So typically we do the sidewalks when we renovate the streets. And in some cases, we have gone to areas that are really bad and gone in and done it specially. Did we do the street in front of the sidewalk?
No.
Yeah, so Ron Brundage could probably talk to you, but for the most part, the sidewalks legally are the responsibility of the homeowner. When it's really bad, we go in anyway and fix it. If there's something particularly bad about the sidewalk, Ron Brundage is right here. He'll take your address and go take a look, our DPW director. Okay? All right, somebody on the phone?
This is a comment from Gail. I just want to say how awesome and effective Kinsey Current is with assisting District 3. She is easily acceptable. She also listens well and is great at resolving my complaints. Hats off to Kinsey Current.
All right, Kenzie's got a fan club. That's great. Go ahead. Tell us your name, what neighborhood you're from.
Jadante Smith, Island View, as you may know. So I'm here about District 3, though. We have an issue with the Kronos Concrete Facility. I have been reaching out to you for at least 2 to 3 months. Actually, no, since the beginning of the year, probably April or May, trying to get a meeting with you about the zoning of the building and also about their BC tickets. I just got them their second ticket. They have a fugitive amount of dust coming out of that building. Nobody got back to me after the last charter mandated meeting. I realize that you are a lame duck. You won't be here next year, so I don't have much time to get this meeting with you so we can talk to you. I would not like to talk to Malia Howard. No offense, I love Malia Howard. She does a great job of what she does, but plausible deniability is something that you can hide behind if we don't talk to you directly. I'd like to talk to you with your residents and your constituents in that district who are living with this dust, who are breathing this dust in. There's no reason I should have to come from across town to help them because they're not being heard. Scott Benson won't meet with them. He's trying to refuse and hide behind Conrad Mallett in the law department because he doesn't want to meet with them with one single lawyer present, and he's working with a billionaire company who has a giant legal team. So can we get that meeting scheduled at some point?
I'm going to be very direct on this. I meet when there is something I can do to be helpful. We've got 2 different questions. One is a zoning question. The company is within their zoning powers. The law department has looked at it. We cannot stop them. The second issue is they have to operate in a way that dust does not leave that site. BSeed goes out 3 times a week to check it. They just wrote them tickets for it. And I believe they're about to put air monitors into the neighborhood, which allows us to track the quality of the particulate for day and night in case there is dust at another time of day. I'm going to ask Dave Bell to talk about where we are on the installation of the air monitors. So we have a different philosophy, and maybe in my next life I will come back as a politician who tells you what you want to hear. But that's not me. And the reality is they are properly zoned. We don't have any right to change it. And my telling you I'm going to look into it, I'm on your side, would not be an honest thing to say. But Dave, let's talk about the one thing I did want is we have in areas where we have had citizen complaints about air quality, we have installed monitors in neighbors' backyards where the neighbors ask for them. They track the quality of air 24 hours so that we can enforce it. So I want to ask Dave Bell, where are we on the air monitors in this area?
Yes, sir. We do have one monitor up. We've reached out to 3 people, and we are waiting on them to get back with us so we can put the air monitors in their backyards. We're hoping they're going to get back with us so we can get this done. And we have issued tickets, and my people have talked to this gentleman right here. So we are working on it.
So if you have... Again, what he's saying is we cannot walk into somebody's backyard and put it in a monitor without their permission. And so it sounds like if you could facilitate some other neighbors where you think the dust may be going, we just need their permission and we're prepared to go put out a number of others. So maybe you and Dave Bell can get together, but we do need the homeowner's permission to put this on the property. Okay. Okay, so you guys, you talk, and we will put the monitors in the yards. You pick where you want them. If you think the wind's blowing a particular direction, and you say this is where we should measure, we've done this in a number of places in the city. Sometimes the monitor shows that the particulate is above legal limits, and we enforce it with very strict fines and sometimes litigation. Other times, the objective evidence shows the other way. That's the beauty of these monitors. It gives us 24-hour record of the quality of the air. So you get us the addresses that you want, and we will put the monitors with the homeowner's permission in those yards. And okay. Again, I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to meet over something I have no power on. That's just the truth. Now, if there's something here where the law department or BC tells me there is something I have discretion to do, I'll be glad to meet on it. But that's just the way I operate. Is I meet when I can solve something that otherwise isn't being solved. I'm not going to meet when I'm told I don't have any legal power to do anything about it. Okay? Let's take somebody on the phone.
All right, this is from Ira. Good evening. I'm a homeowner in the city of Detroit in District 3, and my question is, why is the area that I reside, Davidson and Joseph Campo, Burnside is my street, is never in an eligible zone for grants for home improvement and flooding funding?
So everybody on home improvements, it's based on your age and your income. So it isn't a particular area. As far as the flooding goes, we've gotten tens of millions of dollars of federal money. We are required by the federal government to put it in the areas that incur the flooding when we have the huge rainstorms, which is basically the low-lying areas of the city. We have a map, DWSD has shown it on several times. Every area of this city that is a low-lying area that floods in the massive rainstorms, we have been in those neighborhoods. Maybe we can get this individual's contact and have DWSD call tomorrow. If they are in one of those areas, we'll let them know what they're eligible for, and if they're not in one of those areas, we'll tell them that too. All right, whose turn is it? Go ahead. Tell us your name and what neighborhood you're from.
My name is Ms. Gunn, and I'm from the Farwell District area. Kayana Sessions is our district manager. All of them are awesome. They serve us very well in that area. We had a problem with some commercial property taking some of the residential property, and just tonight I got a lot of resolution for the homeowner. I'm from the Farwell the Finland County Keystone Block Club, and we've been trying to get you out there. We miss you.
Yeah,
but one of our concerns is the trees over on Keystone, Finland, and Conley around the park. Those sycamore trees are killing the seniors. We're a community.
What's wrong with them?
They're dying.
Okay.
All summer long, they're dying.
Is Crystal here? So, Crystal, can we get out and look at the trees around Farwell Park?
Yes, up and down the 3 streets.
Okay, so Crystal Perkins is in charge. Crystal, what are we going to do?
Yeah, so we did go out. The trees are older, they shed. That's what they do. But I am going to go back out myself with the forester to take a look to see if anything is
Well,
dying.
it sounds like you should go out with the block club leader. Let's make sure we're looking at the
Yep,
same
I
trees.
did. I attended their meeting 2 weeks ago, and I told them I will be in touch with the leader.
And we was talking about the leaves dying all summer long. We're waiting.
Okay, so what Crystal is going to do is bring the forestry expert, walk with you on the trees. You can point out the trees, and they will tell you the tree's healthy, the tree's not healthy, and they're just professionals. They'll Okay, so Kayana, why don't you join this? Kayana's going to join you as well, and let's make sure that we follow up. How do you feel about the Farwell Community Center?
Awesome. Miss Harris was our first district manager. Love her to death. She always serves us. Kayana and Kinsey, I hope they continue to stay on board after you leave us.
So in about 4 months, you can make that recommendation to my successor. And of course, Erin Harris did so well, she's now running the whole department. So that's great. Thank you very much. We're going to follow up with you on the tree. Okay, who do we have on the phone?
All right, Todd Scott has a comment that they've been involved in discussions and community engagement on the I-375 project for 17 years. We believe that MDOT has listened and updated their latest designs to something we can fully support. It does connect the community, but especially between Eastern Market and downtown. We hope that the city supports this project as well.
Well, so if you haven't followed this, your opinion, unfortunately, was not the majority opinion. And so MDOT has pushed 375 back. And, I don't have anything good to say about the process. They had 10 years ago a really good plan that left Gratiot in place, left 75 in place, and just raised the street at the south edge. By the time they got done with 10 years of changing, they would have shut down 75 for 2 years. It would have messed up Eastern Market. It would have messed up everything coming into the area, would have done enormous damage to Greektown. And so MDOT is reevaluating now, but I think you're going to probably find a rebuilding of the bridges that need to be done, but I don't think you're going to see the plan to tear out I-75. I think they're probably off of that now. Okay, tell us your name, what neighborhood you're from.
My name is Ben Hardaway, and I'm from the 7 Van area. Our block club is the Cary Roger Hilldale Block Club. And I'd just like to come and say thank you for the Department of Neighborhoods and our director, Kiana Sessom. She's very effective. Anytime you call her, she's right on the case. And I hope that the new administration does not do away with the Department of Neighborhoods, because in my years as a citizen here in Detroit, it's been one of the most effective departments for connecting the citizens to various departments and getting things done.
So you've got a number of mayoral forums, hopefully, that they'll show up for, and you ought to show up and voice that opinion. But I have not heard anybody suggest getting rid of the Department of Neighborhoods. I think that's proven to be very popular in the city. Okay, let's take a question at home.
This is from Deborah from District 3. I first would like to thank Kayana Sessoms, our District 3 manager. She has been very helpful. She goes above and beyond and assists the people in the Kern Heights neighborhood. Question, is it legal to put up a privacy fence 6 feet tall in front of your house, as well as completing the entire area of your home? We can't see the houses.
I'm going to turn this over to our BC director who knows the answer.
Good evening, Deborah. No, it is not legal to put up a fence in the front of your house, and I'm sure they're going to get your information so that we can go out and investigate it and issue the proper violations.
Okay, go ahead.
Good evening to you and many city managers and leaders here that have been serving the people in Detroit for many years very admirably. I want to re-raise a question that I raised last year, as many of us did. We're trying to encourage you to follow the Michigan Constitution's requirements for reporting where the tax capture money goes. It says all monies and revenues must be reported annually to the public, and it's not happening. And right now we're talking $590 million that were taken out of our property taxes that, as you know, was a loss to our schools, libraries, special needs children, and city services. And the public doesn't have any idea, one, that it happened for the most part, and two, where the money went, for those who do know. And so I want to encourage you, and I don't want to debate or argue, I just want to encourage you to look at that constitutional language, Article 9, Section 23, and think about how you can share and report this on the city website.
Again, so I'm going to just continue to factually correct that. The DDA is a public entity. It does report on its website. We've looked at the legalities. They are reporting properly, and it is not factually accurate to say it takes money from the schools. It does not. All right, let's take a question from home.
All right, this question is from Betty Avonner. Thank you, Mayor Duggan, for your support on the Finkel corridor in our community. We received updates regarding the corridor on 8/26. Everything was positive. The only problem is there isn't money allocated for the corridor. We need money. Yeah. Thank you again for your support.
Yeah. And so you are at the top of the list. If Governor Whitmer can pass a package to fix the damn roads, and we have more money, the Finkel corridor is the top of the list. Along with 2 or 3 others, but I appreciate you doing the planning now so that you will be ready when money's available for us to move right away. And the day they start the Finkel Streetscape, I'm going to have the mayor at the time invite me back, because I've been waiting for that for a long time, along with you. Go ahead. Tell us your name, what neighborhood you're from.
So, my name is Beverly Kendall Walker. I live in West Village. I also have residency at the Coleman A. Young International Airport, as you are familiar with. But I do want to let you know that we are just pleased, not quite happy, but pleased with the development that's happening at City Airport. If anybody haven't been up and down Conner lately, you need to go take a look. After all of these years, I've been around 35 years trying to support the airport because Coleman Alexander Young asked the community to organize, to become a group to support the airport, and we have done so since 1990. We are wanted to let you know that, again, you made the right decision to keep Jason Watt from the previous administration. So I hope the next administration will understand the continuity that we need to continue at that airport. I am also glad that 375 is demised. Yeah. But I do want you to look out for the Ren-Sin, because I'm not in favor of knocking down 2 of those little...
Yeah, it's going to be 2 or 5, so I vote for 2.
So let's negotiate, because that's an iconic building on the
Yeah, I wish, I got to face reality as it is and not as I wish it to be. But we have managed, after a lot of years, to get a federal airport layout plan approved by the FAA, which unlocks tens of millions of dollars in federal money to build that airport. And we have gotten through the bureaucracy. And as you know, Ms. Kendall Walker, because you've been fighting for years, it is great to see that federal money pouring in. It's great to see that construction going. And that airport is going to continue to be upgraded. And I'm going to be really excited when the Detroit Public Schools complete the building of the Davis High School back on that grounds where it belongs. So thank you for all you've done.
And so we have Girls in Aviation Day coming up on September the 20th. We got room for about 20 more girls. And so we're looking forward to including girls in this whole aviation industry.
That's great.
Next speaker is...
All right, thank you for all you've done. Okay, take a question from home.
So this question is from Kenneth. I'm a new homeowner, and I have some back taxes that I need to have paid, and I need to have some assistance in how I could get them paid. I know they're late, but I'm new to this.
So I guess the best thing is take the contact and have Chelsea Neblett. It just depends on, where you fall income-wise and the like in the program. So on the city website, all the information is there, but let's have Chelsea contact that individual tomorrow and walk them through it. All right, tell us your name, what neighborhood you're from.
Representing Northeast Detroit. Restore Northeast Detroit is the name of the program. And our concern, Mayor, is that in 2017, we submitted to you a proposal about planning for District 3, housing development. We have lots of land here, and I know prices have gone up in building construction, but there's still people who want to come to the city and build. But we don't have a plan for District 3. Can you address that, sir?
Yeah, so we don't have district-wide plans. What we have is corridor plans. And we've had lots and lots of meetings. Kayana's probably more familiar than I am with where we've done it. We've been on Conant. Where else have we been running the planning areas in District 3?
We have the Gratiot 7 Mile that you're familiar with the SNF area, and then we also have the SNF area in the Campbell, Bangletown, Davison plan that we committed to. And then we have the Joe Louis Greenway investment that's coming through as well. And then we have a couple of our micro developers that have been adding to the district and development in ways that we appreciate. And I know that Van Dyke is very important. We always raise that concern whenever there's an opportunity for development dollars or thoughts to be heard around it, and we're going to continue to do so.
We've had somewhere in the range of 20, 25 development corridors, but across 7 districts is probably 3 or 4 on average per district. But you can see the areas where we've redone the streetscapes and the effect that it has had. Go ahead.
The land. There's so much land in District 3.
Yeah.
And there's not a plan for it. We walk, we ride by it every day, Mayor.
So when you say it's not a plan, what we have to do is parcel by parcel. So you had, for example, the Cadillac stamping plant, right, on Connor and Gratiot, been vacant for 30 years. We got it knocked down. We got Lear to come in. We got him to put 700 employees on the site. So what we have been doing is every chance we get, we have an individual project plan. But if we do a corridor, we've had a lot of success going corridor by corridor. Now, maybe the next mayor will do it a different way, but we've been doing it corridor by corridor, and you've seen a lot of areas of the city that have come back, but we've tried to, it's just not possible to do it everywhere all at once, so we've tried to prioritize. I do think with what's happening at City Airport, there is going to be significant opportunity there, as well as next to the Ryan Prison. I think you're going to see significant opportunities for jobs in District 3. And your councilman is very vigorous in pushing every one of those. All right, let's talk to somebody at home.
All right, this is from Zenaida Flores. I'd like to say on behalf of Keep It Clean Block Club and Crosswells Community Association, thank you to our District 3 Manager, Kayana Sessoms, and Deputy Manager, Kinsey Current. Kayana has been helpful in bringing solutions supportive during Motor City Makeover and connecting our community to volunteers. We appreciate the Dons, as well as their awesome leaders, Aaron Harris and Ray Solomon.
And in response to the last question, I ought to mention one more thing. Today, we just awarded 92 neighborhood beautification grants to block clubs in the city to put in parks, swing sets, vegetable gardens, etc. And so if you are interested in planning in your own immediate neighborhood, we are open again on the next round of funding. There's going to be another 100 funded. So go to the city website, look at neighborhood beautification grants. You have until October 24th. But if there's a stretch of land bank parcels somewhere in your area, and you're saying we could make that a parklet, we could make that a playground, we could make that a vegetable garden. We had, as I say, 92 neighborhood groups got awarded today. I was really pleased to be over at Mohican Regent which is in this district today, in what was one of the worst areas of that session, and now they've got the George Preston Community Park that we opened today. So that's what happens when the community works together. Okay, are we over here? Go ahead. Tell us your name, what neighborhood you're from.
Hi, my name's Dr. Patrick Skozik. I'm here with Team Up Academy and behalf of Mr. John Bones. And we are a workforce development group, and we're working with Bev and with Jason out at City Airport. So I've been invited to help them develop the drone program and train the young folks and folks that are wanting to get into those fields.
Yeah.
And we're here today. I want to thank you for the opportunity for having us here. And
so how does somebody enroll in your program? This is the future. There's going to be a lot of jobs in the future. So tell people who are watching, how do you enroll in your program?
Well, we're working through the Team Up Academy, and we're working out the details right now with Ms.
Okay.
Beck and Jason.
Okay.
And it's coming because it's not just on that level. It's going to go all the way to advanced air mobility. Everything that you're looking at. This is actually the next generation of aviation in 100 years.
People don't realize much of the drone airspace in America is actually run out of the train station at Michigan Central. Detroit is becoming a center in drone innovation. So I really would encourage people to take a look at this on job opportunities. Okay, let's take somebody at home. We're done at home, so we're just going to stick to the church. Go ahead. Tell us your name and what neighborhood you're from. And if they're solving your problem, that's great. Go ahead. All right.
My name is Betty Lyons, District 5. I am complaining about this stolen and hid over $600 million belonging to the Detroit residents, illegally hid and stole by you and Dana Nessel. It appears y'all have something going on. Yet you throw millions of dollars in Mexican Town, give them all kinds of assistance, but you refuse to give us justice. That is not in you, so you have a very devious spirit. There's no proof that we were notified at all, and you don't intend to give us justice or proof for the return of what belongs to us. But you're going to get yours. You'll get yours. Because you're a liar.
Okay, so I'm going to continue to deal with facts, and from 2010 to 2012 in particular, the city did not drop the assessments as fast as the market indicated. And the city auditor general in 2012 wrote a report about the overassessments. When I ran for office in 2013, I campaigned against the overassessments. And in January of 2014, I cut the assessments in this city by 20% across the board. So I'm the one that stopped the overassessments. City Council 3 years ago passed a package of incentives for people who owned houses during this time, and that program is on the city website. I think Council unanimously adopted that program. Those are the facts. Go ahead. Tell us your name, what neighborhood you're from.
Sandra Clayette, 3rd District, right down the street from Buddy's Pizza.
Okay.
But the 3rd District remain industrial zone. I have about 2 more other questions. Would you mind putting concrete down in the alleys? Because if someone behind you and it's a vacant house, no one is going to mow it. The city doesn't come out to mow it anymore. I do appreciate that.
So you've got storm drains down those alleys.
Yes, we do.
So we can't put concrete on top of the storm drains in case somebody needs to get to it. So, and the alley is actually your property. Half of it is your property.
I do know that.
Okay.
I'm saying,
so
if you stay there, someone behind me, I don't have anyone behind me. I do my part. They're not doing their part because they're not there. They're ghosts, okay?
Right.
The next question is, would District 3 remain industrial?
Again, it's every corridor is different. So the residential neighborhoods will be residential. The industrial corridors will be industrial. They are zoned the way they are unless City Council changes zoning on a particular parcel. So what neighborhood are you in? You're at Buddy's Pizza. Now I noticed it looked like they were doing some work right there at Buddy's. There's at least signs over the green. Now, I noticed today as I came over, the fence in front of Buddy's had the green panels in front of it. I didn't know if they were doing something. That's just something new they put on the fence. Okay. 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 So, Dave, why don't you clarify what fences are legal and what fences are not legal?
Testing. Yes, you cannot have a fence in your front yard taller than 6 foot. If you have a fence in your yard and it's the cyclone fence, it cannot be higher than 4 foot. You can have a 6 foot fence from the side of your house to the rear of your house. If you have it taller than 7 foot, you need to have a permit, and we can get you the rest of the details. We'll make sure that Ray Scott meets you in the back, and we'll make sure that you get the rest of your details, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. So Kayana, where's Kayana? So I want you to sit with your district manager, and let's make sure that we get BC'd out to look at the fences in the area that you're talking about. And we may just need to educate people as to what's legal and what's not. And usually you go through and do it once, and the neighbors pass that information down. Okay, so we will follow up. All right, go ahead. Tell us your name, what neighborhood you're from.
Oh, thank you. Hi, my name is Kay. I just moved back to the city of Detroit less than 6 months ago. And so yesterday, my son right here, he's 14. He was profiled yesterday. Coming from my home, DPD rode down the street. They literally sped because I told him to walk to the store yesterday to grab something because I was going to barbecue. So they pull up and they stated, "Hey, cuz, are you a blood?" He had this on yesterday. He's 14. He's only 6'3". He's not an adult. He's not in gang activity or anything. And I feel like that was unsafe. He feels like he's not safe. He's not happy. He's been sad. It's just a lot of mixed emotions. And I don't appreciate that because now I'm ready to pack my bags and go back to where I came from.
Okay, so we have a process by which you can make a complaint to the police commission. All of our officers have body cams and they have dash cams in the car, which will allow them to review exactly what the behavior was and what they did. If they acted inappropriately, the police commission will take action. Is there somebody here that can direct them to how to file a complaint on this? Okay.
Mr. Hayes?
No, but there's a process to file a complaint with the police commission. So we need to walk you through that process.
At this point, I don't feel like I'm safe. I might as well just pack up and go back to where I came from. And I came from Chesterfield, and that's one of the racist cities ever.
And so here is the interesting thing about this is the fact that we have body cams now. We can look and see exactly what the interaction was, exactly what the words were, and if they acted inappropriately, they'll be disciplined. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying we're into a lot of these cases where an officer will tell one story, a citizen will tell another story. Now we have the record. We'll be able to review it. So I want to make sure you file your complaint with the police commission. You'll be able to look at the record of the interaction, and if the officer acted inappropriately, they'll be disciplined. So we're going to follow up with that, and we'll get the camera out and act appropriately. Again, without seeing the interaction, I don't know how to react to this. It's what you're telling me sounds very concerning, but I want to see video before I reach a judgment on what the whole interaction was. So we will follow up on it promptly. Let's get your complaint filed. Again, I'm not going to guess on an interaction. I used to be the prosecutor. I always learned that you don't reach a judgment till you hear both sides and you look at the facts. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying we have a process. Again, Again, I don't ever make assumptions based on appearance. Okay, we should be making decisions based on actions, not based on appearance. That's the way we train the police department. If they fell short in this case, they'll take the appropriate action. So, go ahead. We've got Assistant Chief Hayes here. Will you take them through the process? Okay. All right, go ahead. Tell us your name, what neighborhood you're from.
My name is Joan Penso, and I'm from the Sunset Outer Drive area. First, I want to say thank you for the free estate planning workshops. I've been able to get a lot of my family and friends to participate in that particular service, and it's been very helpful to them and myself. But my main concern is I know at least 8 or 9 neighbors, as well as myself, have groundhogs running rampantly in my community. And I did reach out, and I was very pleased when the Environmental Enforcement Office, they came out on a Sunday, but they said nothing I can do.
Yeah.
You know, and so I ended up spending thousands of dollars to get them out of my yard, and that shouldn't have to be.
Yeah.
So I wish that the city would do more than just rats.
So
we got everything.
So I am not aware of a city in the county where the underground rodents are not the responsibility of the homeowner. And so I don't have a good answer for you on that. But I want to go back to your first point about the estate planning, because I think people who are watching today need to hear about this. We have way too many cases where we have passed down houses from one generation to the next, but the next generation doesn't have clear title because a will was not made out, and you end up with all kinds of problems, getting mortgages, selling your property. But will you talk to folks about what that process was like?
It was very easy. I went to one of the libraries, Elmwood Branch Library, and sat through a workshop for an hour. They gave me a handout to fill out and to gather all my documents that I needed, like my deed, tax records, and so forth, and then take them to the elder law office, and they made copies of it, and they put me on the list so that I can meet with the attorney.
So everybody should be publicizing this. This is a huge issue in this city. Anytime we have flooding and FEMA comes in to give us flood relief and you can't show the houses in your name, I've managed to get FEMA to approve them, but it's always so much harder. So it is really important from estate planning. If you want to make sure you pass the wealth down to the next generation. Yeah, it wasn't complicated, was it? No, I mean, we're there to help. Okay, go ahead. Tell us your name and what neighborhood you're from.
Hi, my name is Victoria Hicks. I'm the president of the Greenfield Park Block Club, District 3. And I'd just like to say thank you for all the help that you've given us. I've had my house assessed and had my work done, and it's beautifully done. And they went above and beyond and did some things that weren't even on the scope of work because I had leaks in different places, and they fixed those. And I just want to say thank you to Kiana and to the whole entire team. I don't know how to thank you enough. And I'm going to be real sad when you leave us as our mayor, but I hope you'll make a great governor, and you definitely have my vote.
Thank you. I won't be far away, but this is the beauty, is that every neighborhood in this city had a chance to do what you did. You showed leadership in your neighborhood, and I'm glad to see what we did was take the most blighted area of your neighborhood, turn it into a solar field, and then strengthen all the other blocks, right, with roofs and windows and the like, so that you can be there another 20, 30 years, be proud of it. But thank you for your leadership in getting your neighborhood selected. Okay, tell us your name and what neighborhood you're from.
Yes, I'm Williette Taylor. I'm in the East Davidson Village area. I have been in my neighborhood for 75 years.
Okay.
I was born there. I'm still in the same home. We have property in the area. We have a business in the area. I would like to give a shout out to Ms. Sussex and Ms. Current, because there has been issues that we have had to face, and having the opportunity to connect with them, they have directed me to the property departments, and we are very, very satisfied. I do not plan on going anywhere, but I know that I have seen some tremendous changes, and I know that there are much more to come. I'm just trying to be patient. I'm asking that we all be patient because we know that there's a lot on the table. And because the taxpayers here, the seniors that are here in Detroit, have paved the way.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad you stayed, and I hope it's worked out well for you in recent years on your property values. Go ahead. Tell us your name, what neighborhood you're from.
Hello, everyone. My name is William M. Davis. I'm from the Aviation Subdivision in District 7. My question to you is, in fact, it's the same question I posed to you when you was running and have proposed to you a number of times since you've been in office. When will you start doing something to help the city of Detroit retirees? Because over 3,000 of us, general fund legacy pensioners, have died since you've been in office. Your salary has gone up 40%, of $70,000, and you started off as a millionaire, but most of us are poor working people, and we still need some help. I'm hoping that you're able to do something before you leave office. We've still been hoping.
And so some might remember that when we came out of the bankruptcy that was done by the emergency manager, everybody talked about the 2024 pension cliff because the city didn't make pension payments for 10 years, and there was a lot of prediction that the city was going to be broke and the retirees were going to get another cut. City Council deserves enormous credit. They set aside $300 million over 10 years so that when 2024 came, we made the full pension payments without a problem. We made them again this year in 2025. So I don't accept the fact we didn't. Those city council members, lots of people were in front of them demanding if we spend money on this, we need money on this. You've heard all the needs here. They had the discipline to say, we're setting this money aside for 10 years from now to protect the retirees. And on top of that, in the last two budgets, they've added on another $10 million to offer 13th checks to the retirees over and above what was obligated. I know this is not everything that you would want, but to say City Council didn't do anything, I don't think anybody would have predicted that we would have had such a smooth transition to the so-called pension cliff. Okay, tell us your name, what neighborhood you're from.
My name is Vanessa Peak, and I live in the Firewall area of District 3. And tonight there's an issue that I really need to discuss, but I really wanted to talk to Deputy Mayor Howard. Before she became Deputy Mayor, she had given me her contact information, and I reached out. I didn't want to, although she had given me her information, I wanted to go through the chain of command, and since July, I have been trying to schedule with her scheduler, but her scheduler won't schedule me, and I'm just hoping.
She's about to schedule you right now. All right.
Great, thank you. And one other thing that
go ahead.
You mentioned the detention center and that manufacturing may be coming. As you know, District 3, we abut residential and butts heavy industrial. Mm-hmm. This is an opportunity now for us to look at buffering, address environmental issues. And I'm asking if you would put us at the forefront to be at the table in the discussions as happens in downtown, midtown, Corktown. Residents, what we typically find when we know about something is when BC sends us a notice. And I think this is very important. One of the things that I always talk about, the Firewall area, District 3, we're truly the home of the automotive industry. The number of jobs that we've lost, the poverty rate is 3 times the national average. And I'm asking for you to put us at the table. I want a grassroots nonprofit organization and everything about Detroit. One of the things is, as Washington changed, we have got to put jobs as the foundation. It is very important.
So if you look in, and this will be something the next mayor decides, but if you look at every major project we did, when we took down Cadillac stamping on Conner and put in the Lear plant, we had a number of meetings with the neighborhoods who actually helped us design the road flow in a way that didn't disrupt the neighborhood. When we put Amazon into the fairgrounds, the neighbors were the ones who agreed on the landscaping and agreed to take the money from Amazon and build parks in the neighborhoods. Every time we've done a major project, we've done it in partnership with the neighbors. Now, as you know, if you've been around long enough, at one point that was a railway yard, at one point that was Chrysler industrial property, then it became a state prison. I can't imagine an area more suitable for manufacturing than that site. But I also believe that you're very likely to see my successor do what I do, which is when there is a company who comes in, the AMC site on Plymouth Road, where the neighbors came in and argued in favor of that project, they will come to the neighbors and say, here's what's proposed, and give you a chance to get input. That's the way we've operated on the major projects, and I'm confident my successor will operate the same way. Okay, go ahead. Tell us your name, what neighborhood you're from.
Oh, hi, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for coming out to our district. To your constituents and your appointees, I just want to say thank you, okay? The last time I was at a community meeting, you were over in the Livernois retirement area at Unity Baptist, and I spoke and I told you that I wanted to bring my children back to that area because I was a product of that community, but there was nothing there. So since then, there's the Joe Louis Walkway.
Yeah.
You done put stuff over there. You done tore down my old Sherrill Elementary School. I'm hoping affordable housing go there, but this is where I live.
Yeah.
And up under the tutelage of Pat Bosch over there,
Yeah.
I've always been involved up under Pat in this community. So I just want to say thank you, but I do have an issue that
Okay.
I'd like to get addressed. Say Play, you're familiar with Say Play, Mitch Album.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. So from my understanding, I don't know if it's true or not, that for the next 50 years, he will have that Lipke location.
I don't remember what the length of the lease is, but it's whatever city council approved 10 years ago.
Very beginning, very smooth, good programming, everything.
What? I'm sorry, what's that?
This mic, please, thank you. Good programming and everything for the children. The center was for our children, okay? We opened up with the elementary schools being bused over there as young as 4th grade, and that's how we opened up the Mitch Albom Play Center. It's been marvelous, but over the years it has transitioned into something different, where some of the children are not able to adapt to strict programming. They need something a little bit more. So therefore, we go back to the schools to make sure they have the correct programming. You're not over that, but I'm just saying what's needed in the area. Mitch Albom, I love it, because look, my kids were poster kids there.
That center was on the demolition list the month I came into office. I never thought I'd see an expansion of the center because there were so many kids there. And so, you know, again, these are conversations, but I agree with you. We cannot have enough recreation opportunities for our young people, and I think we need to keep pushing. So thank you. Go ahead. Tell us your name, what neighborhood you're from.
They cut the mic out on me, Mayor. Why you do me like this?
You know, it has to be a mistake.
Good afternoon. My name is Jennifer Williams. I would like to introduce myself here. I am a business owner in this district as well. The address is 18,000 Lumpkin. I happen to be across the street from Coralville, which is an abandoned school. I acquired that property in 2014. I have had robberies put on me. I've done everything I could do. I take care of that school's property. I can't get the grass cut. If you go over there and look now, we got flowers. My husband and I, we tear up mowers. Like I told you, I'm not only here, I'm in Southwest Detroit taking care of properties. My Social Security and my pension has been spent in this city. Not to mention that my grandson was murdered in this city. So I love Detroit. I am a ride or die, born and raised. I would like to rest my body in this city. But Mr. Mayor, I say to you, again, I have not been able to get to anybody with the mother of my grandson in 10 years to help us. My daughter has tried to commit suicide. My granddaughter has tried to commit suicide. Our family died 10 years ago. But I have not given up on you. And I must say to everyone in here, this man has been truly a friend to me. He has listened to me. He has tried to accommodate me, and I do appreciate it. I'm coming right now from our district's council meeting. I follow Rico over here, and I almost got a speeding ticket, y'all.
Rico didn't offer you a ride?
No, Rico didn't offer me a ride, but he's not both.
Ms. Jennifer, but let me ask you about Coralville. Is Coralville owned by the city or by the public schools?
I have no idea, but I want to.
Anybody here know? It's a city-owned building.
So hear me this, Mayor. 6 feet of water has pumped into there.
Yeah.
So the sewer problem that I'm having at my house for 4 years, not only is it there, I'm dealing over there. I don't have a tenant in that house because it continues to flood on me. So what I'm trying to get you to understand, Mr. Mayor, is my money is little. And I've spread it all over this city, trying to do the best I can with it. But before you leave, you gotta help me get some services, sir. And I have not talked to anyone since we talked about doing something for the mother of murdered children. Because again, Pierre was 15 when he got murdered. Now we're murdering 4 and 5 and 6-year-olds.
What would you like us to do?
I would like you to get the mothers, the children, the family to talk like you have the returning criminal people getting things, but you're not getting to the womb. You're not getting to the mother of these children so they can see the pain and suffering, the murders, how families are broken. And I believe if enough of us get together with the people who are committing these crimes, who are getting these passes and getting these monies and getting these jobs, and understand that my baby is in his coffin, that I would like them to see my pain, my suffering, and maybe we can cure some of this murder in our city. It has to stop, Mr. Mayor.
So, Ms. Jennifer, so we run a program we call Ceasefire, which every couple months we bring in 30 or 40 young people who we believe are likely to be in the middle of the gang violence, and we do have a mother speak. But, Assistant Chief, I think Ms. Jennifer might be a very powerful voice at one of those ceasefire sessions, and I would love for you to come speak. The single most moving thing that happens, we have a mother speak at the very end of an hour session, and it's always the most powerful. It's exactly what you're saying. Yes.
When Pierre got murdered April the 29th of 2015, I was referred through the police department to Mothers of Murdered Children. Yeah. That organization was so terrible with us mothers, and I mean, it was a lot of them, but she wanted to keep us in our pain. They hired her into the police department to do cold cases. I don't know what happened. I don't want to put them on blast, but she is no longer there. So what I am telling you, the real people, the real mothers, I'm at the cemetery yesterday trying to bring back my baby's faith. I just want to say, Mr. Mayor, before you leave, plug in the people who suffer in their homes of the murdered children of Detroit.
So, Ms. Jennifer, Assistant Chief Hayes is about to plug you in for those sessions. Thank you very much. Okay, who's next? What's your name and what neighborhood are you from?
I'm from several districts. I'm an investor in the city of Detroit. I've bought several land bank properties in the city of Detroit and turned them into usable homes. My question to you, Mayor, is what are you doing about the children that are dying in this city, who are getting innocently killed every day? One of the incidents happened on a block that I invested in. I actually own 2 properties in the area. It was a 16-year-old killed and shot in the head in that area. So I haven't really heard much of the people in this audience talk about children dying in this city, other than the young lady that just came up that lost her grandson. And I haven't heard much from you, Mayor, on your page on Facebook or any other government site where you are talking about with a plan how you can address this violence in the city of Detroit dealing with youth. I also came to you before about the homeless crisis in the city of Detroit. We are still facing. I know you open up beds and everything for the homeless people, but we still have a lot of people out here on the street that's walking the streets that are too prideful to address their homelessness.
Okay, so number one, we have just expanded what is now nationally recognized as the finest community violence intervention program in the country, with folks like New Era, Force Detroit, et cetera, who are engaging with our young people to diffuse the situation. We just expanded from 5 zones to 7 zones, 3 square mile areas of the city, and we have seen 50% reductions where they've been engaged. I'm very shortly going to propose another 3 expansions. The police department is doing a great job, but they come out after the shooting occurs. What we have got to do is to be engaged when the beefs are starting. And that means you need to have people plugged into the neighborhood to do that. And I think our CVI folks are heading the right direction. Go ahead, tell us your name and what neighborhood you're from.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Good evening. I'm from the Davidson and Finland area. I've been over there since 1977. I'm a resident. I'll be 75 this year. So I've been in Detroit for 75 years. But what I'm going to talk about, I had two things, but I'm going to nail it down to one. I want to talk about the water department. When I had my flood mayor in 2016, when Council President, former Brenda Jones was in there, she had her staff, Linda Wesley, to go in to take me to the office to call DWSD about my flood. So I lost a lot of items, and some of them I still have in my basement because I want to get paid for it. When Southwest Detroit had that flood, they was put in a hotel, they cleaned out their basement and everything. I froze in my house for 2 years. No hot water tank, no furnace, no nothing. I want to be made whole. They first offered me $764. I told them I'm not a crackhead and I don't do drugs. Then I went down there with an attorney, so they told me to bring the pictures, and I went down there. So they came up with $3,600. That still does not replace what I lost, and I froze, okay? So I need Gary Brown to make me whole like he did Southwest Detroit. I froze, Mr. Mayor. My kids didn't come over. My great-grandkids couldn't come over. I froze. I got extension cords in my basement, Mr. So-and-so, you know what I'm talking about. I got extension cords. I got heaters that burnt out from me using it, trying to stay warm. I got a lot of stuff. My snow blowers in my basement. So it's stuff I still got to prove what I lost. And my son, he was living with me. His shoes, his clothes is not cheap. I got some of those too. I didn't get rid of those. So I would like to be made whole, Mr. Mayor.
So there are two different kinds of disasters in this city. 2016 was a massive rainstorm. We were able to get FEMA to come in here with $100 million in federal money, and the response had to follow the federal rules. And we were active on filing appeals to anybody who was improperly turned down. We had just whole teams of people who were in basements trying to get the FEMA funds. Southwest Detroit was a failure of DWSD and the Great Lakes Water Authority, where there was no storm, the sewer line collapsed, and it was their legal responsibility. So you were in two completely different processes. I understand, but 2016 was a rainstorm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sure. You're saying it didn't happen during the rainstorm? No, it does come up through the bottom. Yes, that's what happens. So in the rainstorm, so we have a combined sewer system, which means that what runs down your sink or you flush down your toilet mixes with the stormwater outside. When we have these historic rainstorms, it forces the sewage back up into the basement. So to the best of my knowledge, if it occurred in the rainstorm, you're covered by the federal rules. If it occurred on a dry day, because DWSD or GLEWA made a mistake, it's a different rule. So I'll be glad to take a look at your case. I'm not sure why it was 2016, but the 2016 flood was a federal flood with federal money, and we had 100 people working with people to get their federal claims in, so I'm not sure what happened on yours. Okay, tell us your name and what neighborhood you're from.
Yes, my name is Jerry Sanders, and I represent the Finland County Keystone East Outer Drive Association. Mayor, there's a school on the corner of Finland and Outer Drive. We have been dealing with it. I've been in office over 5 or 6.
What's the name of the school?
Van Zyl.
Okay, so let me start you here. Is Van Zyl one of us or one of DPS's? Okay, it sounds like that's a Detroit Public School building.
Okay. Only reason I'm standing here today is that I know that you get things done. I've spoken to everyone except for Mr. Beebe.
Is the school secured?
It is and it's not. They got kids having raves up in there.
Okay, so here's what we can do, is even though it's DPS's, Dave Bell and BC can write DPS tickets and make them seal it up.
Okay,
And so I want you to talk to Dave before you go here. I've talked to Dr. Vitti about this on a number of occasions. He's been pretty responsive when we've raised it. So
That's why I'm going to you.
Okay, and so we're going to go right back to DPS, and we will get them to secure it. All right?
Thank you, sir.
All right. Go ahead.
How you doing?
Go ahead.
How you doing, Mr. Mayor? My name is Quincy from District 3. Just want to bring some thank yous. One, for your initiative, the Strategic Neighborhood Fund. We were able to renovate streets, the Maple Ridge housing project, bring affordable housing, rental units in the community, working with Kenyatta Sessom, Mohammed on the business liaison, bringing facade improvement, and then also working with our Park Grove group and bringing a parking lot, a play lot to the neighborhood, and then also working with the city, BC, to bring sidewalks. The sidewalks on Park Grove was pretty messed up, but because of that, the initiative, we were able to really renovate the neighborhood and bring it back. So, and then working with small micro developers as well too. So just want to make sure that these initiatives continues because it's us in the community that's really making our neighborhood strong.
And you're going to talk about your duplex program.
Yes.
Tell people what you're doing, because we need other neighborhoods to do this.
So our duplex program, we were able, working closely with the Detroit Housing Renovation Department, Councilman Benson, Kenyatta Sessoms, and we renovated a whole block on Maple Ridge. We renovated duplexes, sold them back to residents at 60% AMI. They moved in, but then they also rent out the bottom to Section 8 housing vouchers, individuals. So this is a wealth building strategy. This is a home ownership affordable strategy, and then a rental strategy as well too. The whole block's been renovated. Families are moving in, and just continue that initiative around.
It is really remarkable to see how far that block has come back since you've done that, and to see people building wealth. It's terrific. So thank you. Okay, go ahead. Tell us your name, what neighborhood you're from.
Good evening, sir. My name is Ronald Foster, currently in District 2. I come out this evening first to respectfully ask yourself to write an MOU to all of your staff supporting the First Amendment. Everyone should have equal access to services and anything that the city offers, regardless if they oppose your views and your policies. I don't necessarily agree with every policy that you do, but yet I still have should have equal access to services on every level, not just as a citizen, but as a combat veteran. Secondly, I would just like to reiterate, poverty cannot be overlooked. As a prosecutor, as a police officer, all of those things come after situations occur. You have to do a better job in being proactive in providing the resources, getting better feedback from the community, and preventing abuse from happening, and provide more support for our community, our most vulnerable, our seniors, our children, and that means more 2 hours of community time for people to advocate and clean up and do other things. You have to step outside of the prosecutorial perspective and reach a social perspective and understand what drives the beefs, what drives the need for CVI, what drives the need for people to have weapons here, what drives the need for people to unite into gangs and other things. Gangs are another form of unions. They're just for low-budget people or impoverished people. And so you have to open up to other perspectives. I would like to be a friend. I would like to have all of those same interactions that the other young lady that praises you have. I would like to have that same opportunity to sit down at your table and speak with you that the gangsters had. I would like that same opportunity to call your phone and come up to your office and have someone respond to my personal letters that I sign in to speak with you or your staff. And so respectfully, I just ask for changes and that you change the charter that came in with you, that you make it more equitable for city council and share the authority in here. Okay. So it's not just power structure from one perspective. You know, this community have a lot to say. We have a lot to feedback, and we're just not going to be sitting around taking punishment or putting a burden on the police to clean up the mess of poverty.
Right. If you look at the contractors that were selected as the CVI contractors, I pretty much think most of the major critics in the city were the ones who were selected. They were selected because they had the best relations in the neighborhood. So I don't agree with your perspective, but I appreciate it. Okay, go ahead. What's your name? What neighborhood are you from?
Hello, hello, hello. All right.
Go ahead.
My name is Eric Lane. I'm the new Block Club president for the Revere Street.
Congratulations. Was it a close election?
No, not really.
Okay,
They really
no.
wanted me to do it. And it's a lot of problems on my block as far as conflict, and I would like some type of conflict resolution programs that we could probably have access to before things get out of hand.
So tell me what intersections you're near.
7 Mile, Ryan area.
Is this
In
near one of our CVI zones? A Live in Peace is in there. So I'm going to have Assistant Chief Hayes give you the contact for Live in Peace, the new violence intervention group that's in your area. And what we really need is they want to know the people who are getting into the beefs early. That's their whole job. And if you can help give them that intelligence, you'd be very valuable to them.
Okay, well, on my block, it's a lot of children. So the children get into it, and then the mothers get into it. And then from there, it could go anywhere.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
I also wanted
and
to
we also have neighborhood police officers as well. So we need to make sure that you're totally hooked up so you know who to call for which kind of situation. Okay. All right. We're forming new block clubs all over the city. I'm really glad to hear it. I can take you around this city, and the blocks that came back the fastest aren't necessarily in the wealthiest neighborhoods. They are in the area where the block club of the neighbors are the most organized. It is so much easier for the city folks to help a neighborhood come back when the neighbors are engaged themselves. So thank you very much for serving as a president.
Does it work? Okay. Hello, my name is Cranston Anderson. I'm a candidate for City Council in District 3. I'm a president of the Gardenia Community Block Club right here in District 3. What I want to ask you as a mayor going out, I'm a little upset about that because I asked you last year if you were leaving, and I supported you in 2013. And there's a lot of things still in my community, in my neighborhood, that are not done. So you're out the door, but I want to make sure that you leave on a good note so that you can take care of some items that have not been taken care of.
So what would you like me to start with?
No, I just want you to listen right now. You can start with it when you get back to your office because you decided to leave already, so you can go ahead and do that. But I want you to start with the payments on our property taxes. Why are they still being lost? That problem is not fixed, and you have an issue with the payments for our tax properties going straight over to Wayne County Treasurer's Office, being charged the interest rate, and then if someone does not have that money to pay their property tax again after paying it the first time, and you're in a poverty-stricken community, why can't we internally fix this? This is internal operation.
This is the first time I'm hearing this issue, but I'm going to ask somebody from the finance department to say, are we hearing about this and are we addressing it?
I'm not aware of any issues where payments are not coming through. We have 2 different payment channels to use to pay property taxes, but I'd be happy to talk to you about your specific property to see if there was something that happened. I'm Valerie Agoli. I'm the Deputy Treasurer for Tax Administration.
All right, so Valerie is going to go with you, and I have not heard this complaint before, but I want to look at a specific of what was lost. She will track it back, find out what happened, and if there's a problem there, we will fix that process. Okay, who's next? Go ahead.
Good evening, Mayor. My name is Helen Starks. I'm a resident of Arcola Street and the president of Arcola Block Club, which I've been reactivating. Most of us on Arcola are renters, and while we're faced challenges, we've also seen real progress. Working with our district manager in the Department of Neighborhoods, we look forward to continuing this work under the new leadership, and I truly thank you for all that you have done in our city. And I don't have not one doubt that you're going to win, Governor.
Well, and thank you for serving as a block club president. I'm telling you, these new block clubs that are getting formed, we are getting into neighborhoods that 10 years nobody would have thought would do it. It is so exciting to hear you forming that group and to do it among renters. That's terrific. Thank you.
Hello.
Hey.
Mr. Mayor Duggan. How
Good
you
evening.
doing?
Good.
My name is Beulah Walker, City Detroit resident, District 5. I'm also a community leader, and I also have the privilege of running an organization called Hydrate Detroit for the past 10 years. I just want you to know right now up front, I'm a horrible critic of you publicly. It's your policy. So it's public policy. So I just want everybody to know I have an issue with
It's okay.
policy.
This is America.
I know,
Go ahead.
but I just have to say that because a lot of times from doing community work, when I address elected officials, they take it personal, but I just have to say this up front to let everybody know it's policy.
If I took things personal, I'd have quit years ago.
Well,
So go right ahead.
I just want you to know before I have my critic of your
what's your issue?
administration. My issue is with your administration and the policies and city council is the flooding in the city of Detroit. I know why we have flooding. You know why we have flooding. The state of Michigan knows why we have flooding. But the solution is to hire the plumbers to operate the pumping stations that was closed down September 8th, 2014. We get calls about raw sewage bagging up into people's basement. We get calls. We have the data. I talk to Director Brown all the time. So if Director Brown could have fixed it, he could have fixed it a long time ago. In my opinion and my observation, that's a problem that nobody wants to fix. I just got a client just bought a house for $170,000. Her basement got raw sewage coming in. One thing I do know is that the city of Detroit has not done their due diligence on their public end, and it's coming into the private sewer lateral drains. Yes, we know about the sewer lateral drains program. I've been at the table, haven't moved for the last 10 years. But one thing I do know about you, Mr. Duggan, that if it wanted to be fixed, you would have fixed it a long time ago. And it's just my critic of you. It ain't personal.
It's okay.
Okay, I have to say this.
You can't bother me, but let's deal with facts. In 2014, the Great Lakes Water Authority did not have people on site, and we're not there to deal with it. What you said is correct. Gary Brown insisted that they have 24-hour people on site ever since to make sure all those pumps are working. So he did address it in 2014. That's why we're talking about 2014 and not 2025. So that's something that Gary did. All right. Thank you all very much, and have a good night.